here we are on the YouTubes. And thanks for joining us for this Five Sauce reaction or Five Sauce concert review. That's what we're going to call this.
Yes.
Yeah. Ryan and I recently went to Five Sauce in this, like, we were going to Metallica and another concert, and then we ended up seeing that it was very close, so we ended up going to Five Sauce as well. It was, I would say, more of an add-on than the draw, meaning that's,
I don't know
like,
if it was
to start with, it wasn't like I wasn't coming to Ottawa to come to Five Sauce. I was coming to Metallica.
Yeah, we lucked out. All the dates
and
were
we lucked out.
Yeah.
And I'll give you if you want to skip all of whatever I have to say, I'll give you my first impression overall of the three bands that we saw. That concert was my favorite of the three. Yeah, that's my take. My general overall take is there's very little for us to pick apart about this concert. There's, I would say, nothing negative is my general overall. How about you?
Yeah, I it's always hard to. I'm not a Raider guy, and not to say I don't like to say I like chocolate, I like vanilla, and I like strawberry. Like when it comes to Neapolitan flavors of ice cream, those three major, I like them all, but maybe for different reasons, and they come with different things. So I know it's diplomatic, and I'm not trying to not rate this concert to the other ones, but it was in a unique week. Yeah, so Nathan and I, August 11th, we saw Metallica night 1. In night 2, we saw The Warning in Montreal. Night 3, we saw night 2 of Metallica, Montreal. And then we got a day of rest back here in Ottawa, where I live. And then we drove to Toronto, a 5-hour drive from Ottawa to Toronto, to see Five Sauce August 15th. So there was a very action-packed, tiring in a good way, just of concerts. We lucked out that these three bands that we both enjoy for different reasons, in different ways, and for different lengths of time in our lives, we got to see. So regarding the Metallica, really quickly, I've been a fan since I was 11 years old, so that's a long time, 36 years. This was my 7th and 8th time to see them live. It was Nathan's first time. The unfortunate thing about that show, really quickly, because it ties into what Nathan was saying, or it's a factor. The sound quality where we saw them, it just so happened maybe it was our seats and combination of everything else, because people on the floor said they sounded good, but there's reverb. And so with that it was in a big, huge stadium, Arcadium, whatever thing it was called, Olympic Stadium, and it fit 80,000 people. So the good news is 80,000 people, incredible light show, incredible video screen content. They did a great job with their lighting and video effects with the songs. However, the sound wasn't great. And it's through no fault of the band. It's just the venue, obviously. The band is a professional band after 42 years. They know what they're doing up there. So it's unfortunate when it was Nathan's first time because, if you don't really know some songs that you're playing it live. Then back to Five Sauce. What was perfect about this venue, there was 15,000 people at this show. It was an outdoor venue, so the sound was really good. It's a Budweiser stage in Toronto, made for concerts, outdoor shows. So the sound was very good. The rain held off. We were a little bit nervous. There's supposed to be rain. The rain held off. Like literally started to rain pretty good when the show ended. It was crazy. And we'll get into our thoughts of some of the songs and some of the energy of the show. But we got there. We just went right to the back of the lawn, like back kind of corner, and we just chilled, stood up the whole time, and tapped our foot and danced our way through 20. Actually, I'll get this up in a second. But they played 26 to 8 songs, so full show, Nathan.
Great brief overview.
Thank you. Are you being sarcastic or
just a little?
Oh, thank you. That's always nice. That's sarcasm too.
We're not going to go through these song by song, but I would say my now more in-depth reasonings for what Ryan and I talked in the car on the way back from the show, and we were both in agreement that it was something that we wouldn't have done on our own. However, it was a essentially flawless show, and for a number of reasons. One of the biggest reasons, they come back to Toronto frequently, and so that particular concert, people look forward to it. It's like almost a tradition for them to go there, and for that reason, they work the crowd really well. So they would talk to. They have great little transitions, and I'm sure those who've gone to a Five Sauce concert know this. They have these little videos that they do as almost like their little breaks where they switch the set around or they move things around. And it was funny. They would interact with the crowd a little bit. They personalize it, made it personal for Torontonians. And so that just made it for a better experience than the other two concerts for different reasons. As far as the music, because I wasn't as familiar with Five Sauce, with their set list, it didn't matter because it was played very clearly. On the other two concerts I went to, I was wearing headphones or earplugs, and because it was so loud. And that's fine. A lot of people wear earplugs at concerts. That's totally normal. I didn't need them at Five Sauce, and I was able to enjoy the music enough that I felt, oh, there's some music here I haven't heard before from Five Sauce that made me want to go and actually look up Five Sauce music and listen to it. So yeah, if I'm going to summarize what I just said, it got me listening to Five Sauce again. It was a great concert overall. It was personalized. It was unique. And I'm looking forward to going back and seeing another one in the future.
I made a point I cheated. So there were songs that, of course, we heard at the show that we haven't reacted to, but I went and made myself a playlist, set list, so I could get very familiar with all the songs we're playing at the show. So anything that wasn't from Youngblood or Five Sauce 5, basically now we don't have to react to per se. Or I mean, we can still react to either the music video or another live performance, sure. But songs like, let's see here, I don't want to... Voodoo Doll, there's one. And that was actually one of the dice songs. So this is where they throw out a inflatable dice and the crowd rolls it around. They say, okay, bring it back. And it lands on the stage. And I guess it has 6 songs that the dice will choose. So it changes up their set list each night. Or they could literally roll the same song every night. We got Voodoo Doll for our dice roll. So that was a song I was not familiar with. There was only a couple of songs that I actually wasn't familiar with. They did 28 songs. So Voodoo Doll was one that I didn't know. And I know we reacted to Who Do You Love, but I forgot to put that on my set list. So I actually had forgotten that song. So when they played that live, I was like, what song was that again? Vapor was unfamiliar to me, but the rest of them I really knew quite well, especially anything from Five Sauce 5 or Youngblood. And what I really like, I'm glad Five Sauce is doing this, and I hope this is a sign of their future, because their Five Sauce 5 album is excellent. It's an excellent album, very mature. I love the sound of it. And they played 7 songs from Five Sauce 5. Of course, in tied for first was Youngblood album. They played 7 from that one as well. And I know Youngblood was their big breakthrough album, both in maturity, sound, and record sales. And I like, though, that they still leaned into the newest stuff, that there was still 7 songs from the latest album. Then they played 5 from Sounds Good, Feels Good, 4 from their first album, 5 Seconds of Summer. They played 2 from Calm, 1 from She Looks So Perfect, and it says here others. I'm not too sure which that one is. And the one cover, I guess they're calling the Who Do You Love a cover, but I believe they helped write that as well. So overall, great set list. I loved every song and every performance. Now we'll talk about, Nathan, band members and or they're playing in general. Do you want to speak to that?
Sure. Here's one of the reasons why it was such a great concert, because it felt like equal time for every member. There wasn't like the member that just stands off to the side and nods their head once in a while or anything like that. It seemed like we heard from each member, including Ashton did this little sort of game. It was obviously set up to be this way, but where the crowd has to get louder than Ashton, and Ashton plays the drums and he always wins. But it was him interacting with the audience and talking to the audience. Yeah, it wasn't what I thought it would be. Like, I thought it would be like the Luke show. Not that that's a bad thing. A lot of bands do that, where like the front man is the person that runs things. That's the case, I would say, with the Metallica show or even the Warning. But it didn't feel like the Luke show. It felt like Five Sauce. It was the Five Sauce show. In fact, that's what it's called. I do want to mention this, though. This is another positive, really. I was more taken aback by the fans and their like energy, and like when they would get them and cue them to do something, the fans were up there. It felt like every hand is up doing the like woo, like they're always participating with the entire show. Of course, we're these two fuddy-duddies in the back just like tapping our feet, not really participating to the same level as the fans. But I don't know, I felt pulled into that That was a good thing. Yeah.
You don't make it sound too. Then that's not true. Nathan and I weren't fuddy duddies. We were moving.
No, I
we
know.
were swaying. No, I just want to be clear because I actually posted in Reddit that we were going to be at the show, and I asked the question on the Five Sauce Reddit. I'm like, are we going to be totally out of place as two 47, 48-year-old guys? Let's be honest, it's not the demographic, and it wasn't. I was right. The demographic was Nathan and I were definitely outliers. There were not a lot of guys, and there were not a lot of guys our age. We made the joke too, of course, on Twitter, that the lineups for the boys' washroom was amazing. In fact, when Nathan and I went in, it was empty. There was literally a lineup for the girls, and ours was empty. It was like free stalls, free urinals. It was like we had our little party in there. We were totally out of the demographic, and we were definitely out of the age demographic. However, nobody bothered us. I don't think might have been a couple looks. Oh, these two guys are here. We're tall, and we look like we're men. We're not boys either. And a couple guys we saw there, they were definitely not straight, just like I predicted. Like Nathan might have been. Who didn't go with a girlfriend. You and I were the only two guys there who were straight. They didn't have a girlfriend or wife or daughter.
Except for there was these roving bands of teenage boys. And I spot these very easily because I used to be a teacher that would just go around and like chuff.
They might have been with a group of girls though. Like,
well, they could have been. Yeah. But it's like
there's those three guys that keep going back and forth.
They're like douche boys find each other and then they go around just chuffing at the music. I was like, why would you pay money to do this? I don't understand.
Oh, that's at every show. Yeah, people are always silly. But yeah, so out of the 15,000, and now granted, we didn't see everybody, but just from the thousands we saw, and between entering the stadium, leaving the stadium, I did not see one or two other men by themselves in our age group that weren't straight. I mean, and that's great. And that's fine. I like that. It was the first time that I've really experienced that at a show, but that did not affect our time. We had a wonderful time. We had a great time. They put on an amazing performance. I won't repeat everything Nathan just said, other than, yes, the band was amazing live. They did an incredible job. And it's unfortunate that here's the thing. The flip side is we talked about this on the way to the show. We're talking about, I guess we'll talk about the Warning a little bit. Their demographic fans are a little bit different. They're like us, me and Nathan. Like Nathan and I, when we went to the Warning, there definitely are a lot of men, and it's weird because they're a little bit younger. And I even feel weird because the oldest member is 23, and then it's 21 and 19, 18. So the three sisters, they're the good-looking girls. And it's weird, even me just going, because it's like, are we going because of the music or because they look good? Now, they sound good and look good, but then you go to Five Sauce. Well, yes, let's be honest, all the guys in the band they're handsome young guys, they're enthusiastic, they're funny, talented, and so that's a great draw for a certain demographic, I'll say, and not necessarily Nathan and I and our demographic. But what I'm getting at, and we're talking about Five Sauce, but it's interesting how demographics work because there's songs in the Five Sauce library that the Warning fans, that Five Sauce fans would enjoy some Warning songs, and vice versa is what I'm getting at. That there's no reason why men of our age shouldn't be at a Five Sauce show, because these four young guys, they're actually not a boy band, and they've been accused of such because they toured or opened for One Direction, I believe. They're a pop rock band at the very least, but their music and certainly certain songs, of course, like She's So Pretty and stuff, but their songs they played, Teeth, for example, they killed that. That was an amazing, that was a hard rock performance. Mike on his lead guitar has some great solo work. Ashton on the drums, just killing on the drum. There was a rock drum performance. That was not a pop rock performance. Those drums were, he's beating those skins like he's 13 years old under the covers. And then Callum, and it's interesting. Here, I got two things about Callum. What I like about Callum was that he's the most subdued of the four, like the kind of the least, like Luke did a lot of running around. Callum did too, but definitely Mike did. But what I really was impressed by Callum was his vocal work in this concert was like, I knew he was a good vocalist, and Mike's a good vocalist too. Mike's got a little bit more of the kind of the rock, like Blink 182 type vocal work, you could say. Callum's vocal work was just, I don't know what he was firing on all cylinders. He sounded incredible, and he looked good too. It looks like he might have lost some weight. We're noticing he might have lost some weight. His arms, there was a joke at the concert that Luke made about Callum's arms scaring him, so I guess Callum's been doing some working out. Yeah, and then finally with Luke, definitely the least amount of ego in this guy. He definitely is the front singer. That is his job. He does 90 or 80 to 90% of the vocal work. Incredible vocals, nicest guy. He's just such a class act. And then all four of them together, they put on an amazing show. We mentioned Teeth. I know you're going to want to put some songs in. We haven't really talked about certain songs, but that's okay. But Teeth was amazing. You got some video footage of that. That was an amazing rock performance. They did Outer Space at the end. Nathan and I, we reacted to that song for the concert they did in London with the singers and the orchestra. We were like, ooh, how are they going to pull this off live without those things? They did. Yeah. They did. And there was a backing track for the extra vocal effect when they had the big kind of choir vocal. That's part of the song. You just have to. There were some backing vocal tracks. But yeah, it was an amazing performance. Yeah, all in all, I don't know what the crowd's like for other shows, but having 15,000 people at the show, it's a pretty good crowd for them. It's a good draw for them. And they know that because they mentioned it, all the people there. So I don't know if they draw 15,000 every venue. People can let us know, but they definitely did that here. And that's why they have a special place. They've hit the market very well here in Ontario, Canada.
Yeah. I was most impressed with this summer concert concept. That's what they like doing. Is doing their concerts in summer. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe they play all year round.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, they do, but this seems to be their... I don't know if they've done it that many years in a row, but they've done it 2 years in a row here. And it sounds like they might just do it again. It sounds like they have to work things out with their band manager and tour dates, but it sounds like I suspect they'll come again, which I'm going to bring my wife and kids for the next one. Next time they come to Toronto, we're going to make a family event of it because my daughter and my twin boy and girl really liked the band. I live streamed FaceTime with them a few songs, but they love it.
When you see the footage that we'll put up, you can see that it's just this large amphitheater structure, and then the second half of it is all in a lawn. So it did feel like this open air outdoor concert that wasn't like a flat ground and you're like peeking over people to try and see them. It was actually a great venue. So they really like that venue. That's what I was getting at there. It's a solid venue for that size of a concert.
All right. We don't drag this out too long. It's 20 minutes here. So we'll just say we loved it. We give it a perfect score of a concert. The sound was good. The crowd was great, except for there was one girl behind us. I don't know how her voice lasted. She screamed every lyric. And thankfully it was loud enough to drown out most of her screaming. But you might hear the video.
All the same tone. No change in pitch whatsoever.
It's just screaming. Like just picture someone yelling, like scream yelling lyrics of a song.
Every lyric, yeah.
But bless her heart, she was there for Phi Sauce. She had a great time. So yeah, we're gonna go see them again. Absolutely, if and when we're able to see them again, that is a non-issue. They did great. We proverbially mixed our sauce with them, but we were far. It didn't reach them. It just hit the people in front of us. So, anyways, it was a great show. Really, it was just a fantastic time. I came in with high expectations, to be honest with you, and they were met. I expected good things from them, and they nailed it. And these guys are great, and I'm looking forward to more Phi Sauce on our channel and more Phi Sauce performances in the future and a new album. I know they just released one, but let's get going, guys. Let's give us another one.
Yeah, they're almost done their tour now, are they not? They must be pretty close.
Yeah.
Equal. What Ryan said. Thank you for joining us. Thanks for being here. And we'll see you on the next one.